Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and we are back for some more F125 ApxGP driver career mode for round number 4 of 24, ready for the Bahrain Grand Prix. So welcome back to another career mode video. It has been actually quite not that long actually, considering the last one was out. If you did not check out the last career mode episode around Japan, please go check that out below. It was not the best race as we can, but we have had our first offer from another team, and what do you know? It's my former employer down at Alpine. So Flavio is not having the time of his life in real life, and he's probably not having the time of his life in the game as well. They got 2 points. They're sitting second in the constructors. Well, personally, I am not very intrigued by this offer because I really don't want to downgrade to a team. But I think we will decline talks with Alpine. They don't seem to interest me. I don't really want to go back. And obviously the goal is to try to get to Mercedes, so I'm going to have to decline the offer. I would like to apologize down in Alpine.
Hey, just a quick one from me. The team are pleased that you've declined that meeting. Gold star, brownie points, etc., etc. I guess we'll see if anything else more exciting comes calling, but let's focus on our current seat for now.
Hopefully something comes calling. I mean, hopefully it'd be a top team, but I feel like we haven't really proved ourselves yet to be at the top, because considering that we haven't scored points since Australia, it has been tough. But there's like your standings, sitting P11 so far on 4 points. Obviously we had the amazing result at Australia. We finished 19th in China, and then a DNF in Japan, which DNF probably would have maybe been points at Japan if I didn't have that little oopsie, but I'm not gonna try to say anything and then that happening, so yeah. But we've had some rear downforce issues, and the beam wing has failed, so we will just get that applied. I think that is coming ready for Miami or Imola, and we might rush this front wing flap, and it might come on time for the Miami Grand Prix, which actually would probably be needed. The car is a little bit understeery, but it's I think it was a 50%. I think we maybe just did regular, but yeah, we get the well, we thought we had a weight redistribution upgrade on, but that looks like it failed, so not great for the weight. And the drag reduction, actually we will probably need that. We have one of the worst cars in a straight line, and it's pretty by a milestone considering that we have a Ferrari engine in the back of this thing with Mercedes branding. It doesn't make any sense, but yeah. But Sony, I think, I thought he was going to repurchase it. I don't know if he did, so we just did it for him. I'm not sure if the AI really do that still, but yeah, so ultimately we went with that, and yeah, so we'll just get ready for, well, just obviously just get ready for this weekend. And actually we're approaching the second of the triple header. Considering there was a triple header in the first in Japan, Bahrain, and obviously Saudi Arabia, and obviously around the brand new Bahrain as well. Obviously you got a pretty massive overhaul over in this year's game. But yeah, we're sitting P3 in a quali lap. Quali sim, actually car felt actually pretty decent in qualifying, but I feel like it's still going to be a very tight to get into Q2 personally. But yeah, obviously wasn't really that bad of a session. I'm really not struggling with the car. I mean, it's more about getting the traction down. That's kind of where I am struggling. But we got some research points, actually a lot of valuable things approaching. But it is now time for Saturday qualifying. We have been really struggling a lot in qualifying this season, and knowing for me, without horrible qualifying pace, let's try to turn it around if we can.
Well, as the sun goes down, the speeds go up. It's almost time to get underway for this shootout for the fastest time and the best possible grid position for tomorrow's race. Let's get on with it. It's qualifying for the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Yes. Good old Saturday night under the lights in Bahrain. So, yeah, I don't know really what I'm expecting forward to in this qualifying session. I mean, obviously, I'd like to get into Q2 personally because we haven't really hit a Q2 yet. But that'd be the goal. But again, I got to keep my expectations low because obviously the car is not really that great at the moment. It's probably one of the worst cars on the grid next to the Sauber. So we definitely just have to do a lot of work, and got to put a lot of upgrades on the car. But so far already missed the apex at 1, really struggling a little bit through turn 1 on a couple of laps, but And also getting into the exit of that corner, it's a little bit tricky, and miss the apex completely and run out completely wide a little bit, using up all the outside if we can. Now approaching the S's section, down to 5th. I probably should have taken it in 6th to have more stability, but actually felt pretty decent down to 6th gear. And also probably one of my least favorite corners is right there. I just really struggled to hit the apex. And now approaching into the final sector now. Actually a pretty decent middle sector, but it wasn't great. And yeah, ultimately just still struggling with a lot of the corners as well. So obviously Bahrain has been, obviously with the new track update, I feel like it's a little bit more realistic. I mean, it very much is realistic now, but it definitely takes a while for me to get used to it, because I feel like a lot of the corners were pushed back now a little bit. So that's what I feel like personally, that, or I'm just ass and I'm making excuses. But yeah, and so far 2 seconds off of pole position, and about half a second off to Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt is cooking. We are not. But P18 so far on our first lap, though, that's not terrible. It's a lot better than half of the other drivers at the moment, but only going to get one more run. I was thinking about doing 2 laps, but I feel like we're just going to do best to try to do one more. So let's take a lap around the Bahrain International Circuit here. And let's try to move into Q2, because that would be greatly appreciated. Down into the main straight, very long straight, a little bit bumpy, as you can now as you approach turn number 1. You probably want to go down into 2nd to 3rd gear if you can. And we go down into 2nd, miss the apex a little bit. You want to take that a little bit more. Now let's focus on getting the power down, get a good exit, launch it off, and then hit the DRS at this rate. And then you're going to want to kind of drift the car a little bit over. You want to use up all this curb you can to open up the entry as we miss the apex again. And use all the outside if you can. Thankfully we used a good amount. Found about 2 tenths in that so far. Now approaching into the S's section, which is probably one of the best corners now on the track, especially in this year's game, because the car doesn't really lose it as much as you can. Miss the apex again, not really ideal. Really struggling a little bit to get low speed, and also just trying to maximize the weight distribution in this car. And now approaching into the hardest corner of this racetrack. Thankfully we mastered it pretty well. I found 2 tenths there. We definitely could have found 4, maybe 4 tenths if we didn't miss a couple of the apexes already. And now approaching down into the next couple of corners. This one's actually really fun, and then you go uphill, and then you're going to approach now the long right-hander as you approach now, when you use up all the curb, and then you want to hit this corner right here. Very good to get an exit if you can. We actually get a somewhat decent exit. I think we're about even on the exit through there, and you just want to keep the car straight. You don't want to bleed much time. And now approaching into the last corner, the penultimate corner, we missed the apex completely. Again, not really ideal, but found 3 tenths so far in this lap, so it's not really the best lap to come across the line now. We definitely need to find a lot more time, and I think that is only P19 on the grid, and that is only 19. So that was quite abysmal. It wasn't ideal. Definitely not what I needed, because yeah, it's honestly, it's just been really tough to understand. But hey, Brad Pitt's in the Q2, so that's pretty positive for us. And yeah, just half a second off. And sorry for the voice crack there, but yeah, just half a second off. And yeah, just maybe if we found that 10th, we probably would have gotten a Q2. I think beating Gasly's time would have been very much. I think we definitely could have beat Gasly's time, but just made too many mistakes on the lap, and there's nothing to blame myself. So that's totally on me. And yeah, obviously we're known for better race pace than qualifying pace. I feel like that's always been everybody's strengths. But yeah, now we got rid of the painful part. Now it's time to lock in for the main race. So yeah, let's just stay calm, cool, collected, and let's try to secure something if we can.
There was a race against time in 2004 to get Sakir ready for its Grand Prix debut. But today, the only race is where it matters, right on track. Welcome to the Bahrain Grand Prix. Formula One returns to the desert today on this exceptional 3.36-mile circuit. 15 corners provide plenty of overtaking opportunities, and it could be a strategic race, this one, with Sakir notorious for eating up the rear tyres. Watch out for drivers managing their rubber at some point during the Grand Prix. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Lando Norris lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Piastri, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Russell, Tsunoda, Antonelli, Albon, and Fernando Alonso, Lawson, Hayes, Lance Stroll and Behrman, Doohan, Ocon, Pierre Gasly and Carlos Sainz, Joker, Hulkenberg, Hadja and Gabriel Bortoleto rounds off the grid. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head down trackside for today's race. And alongside me in the commentary box today, a man who I always look up to, which is easier said than done, Anthony Davidson. Look, we know it's not where you start, it's where you finish, but let's talk about the start now. What's there to help the drivers get away well?
Big pressure at the start of the race, Crofty, for all of them up and down the grid, no matter where you are. But the drivers these days, they practice, practice and practice. They have rigs with them at the circuit where they can sit down with the actual steering wheel from the real car, and they've got lights that they react to. The clutch paddle is tailored around the driver's hands, around their fingers, so they can have optimum position before they start. So there's so much thought and effort that goes into getting these cars off the line.
Okay, let's try not to worry about being down here at the back. You've got the speed, you've got the car, so just take it easy and the race will come to you.
I don't know if we have the car, but we might have the speed. And to be fair, I'm pretty used to starting in the back. It gets pretty common when you play these games for a super long time when you pick the worst car in the grid. But yeah, welcome to the grid. 29 laps around the Bahrain circuit. And looks like a two-stop race. And honestly, Bahrain has always been a two-stop race. And it's always been like that. I think a one-stop could be possible. If we pit on lap 11 and we run the race to the end on hards, I think that could be possible. We might try to go for it. It might be a bold gamble, but we might try it. And I low-key probably going to do it. But here we go for the 5 red lights here around the Bahrain International Circuit. 29 laps, and we are underway. And we actually get a pretty decent start ahead of a couple of the other cars in front. Carlos Sainz moves up. Also, we jump ahead of Ocon and the Haas. Sainz trying to maybe close the door. Got to brake a little bit early. The AI tend to brake very early in this year's game, but we go around the outside, juke a couple of the other cars, and down into, and there goes Behrman a little bit slightly with a little bit of oversteer. But yeah, we made it through the first couple of corners. Now we still have to kind of keep it easy because these guys will still brake very early, and you can tell right there. And Sainz thinking about moving down the inside. We're going to try to go on the outside of Ollie Behrman in the Haas as we can. We got the outside line. Do we cover ahead of Behrman? Yes, we do. We jump ahead of Ollie. Moving up into P15. So pretty good start so far. Might jump on the inside of Jack Doohan if we can in the Alpine. Looks like we're just going to stay behind him at the moment. And Brad Pitt is up there in the P12. So Brad Pitt actually in a really good starting position. That probably might be one of the best starting positions that we've had. Well, ApxGP has had, I think, so far entirely in this career mode save. But yeah, I mean, it's been a pretty good opening lap so far. I mean, we're so far keeping it very cool and collected at the moment. We're just trying to stay with Jack if we can. We actually just, well, we cucked up that corner, and yeah, not ideal to cuck that up, but we did. And lap 2 so far, Sainz is going to be putting some pressure under us here if he gets close. It looks like he's just not going to get too close, so he looks like he falls behind. Trying to go around the outside of Jack Doohan if we can. And yeah, he's definitely very slow in the low speed, but he actually got a really good exit compared to us. And Sainz actually had a blistering exit in the Williams. But we're going to so far stay ahead of Carlos as well. Going around the outside, thinking about a Lando Norris 2019 on Jack Doohan, but we do not get that move done so far. So I'm thinking about maybe after the Yesta section, we might send a little Daniel Ricciardo type send around the inside of the outside. Let's see what happens down into the next couple of corners. Yes, we do go around the outside, and that was not a track limits warning. Thankfully not. And actually, Jack has, I think Jack just might have broke his front wing. I don't know if we shut the door on him or he understeered into us. Let's take a look and see what happened. But, oh no, Jack just hit the curb and he broke his wing. And yeah, he's missing an end plate, so it's not really ideal for Jack. But it wasn't my intention. Didn't want to break his wing, but I think he all did that himself. Around the outside of Stroll, maybe not. Thinking about it so far, Stroll defended that really well, and also Sainz followed us through. And Jack is so far he's keeping up with Sainz, so he's not losing too much time. But yeah, the top 8, I believe, that might be the top 8, maybe the top 7 have pulled away. Obviously, I think that is Max ahead of Lando, and I believe that is George Russell in P3 so far. But yeah, just so far following through, leading ahead of that train might be actually, I think that's one of the Ferraris back there. That might be Hamilton. I think leading the train is Alex Albon in that train so far. But yeah, just trying to stay behind Stroll. Might try to go send one down the inside as much as we can. I don't really want to stay behind Stroll. I feel like he tends to be a little bit. We go down the inside, and oh, we hit the inside, and we have committed a crime, and a very bad crime. We've actually just smacked the inside of Fernando Alonso, and totally misjudged the brakes. I was coming in so hot, and way too hot, and the AI broke a little bit early, but I came in so hot that I was gonna basically hit him. So sorry, Fernando. You know, we could have been teammates, but I chose to sign with ApxGP, and I'm starting to question my decisions again, but it's all good fun. And we're going to pit now, and yeah, we're just going to have to get a new wing on. We're going to go to the end on these tires. I'm going to try this and see what happens. I don't think we're going to score points today, but we do have a lot of damage. We have some floor damage, we have some side pod damage. I mean, we're really going to be struggling a lot through the second half, so we're probably going to be lapping around a second lap slower than mainly half the midfield cars. Possibly will be on the same sort of lap times as the Saubers and also the the Racing Bulls, and almost lost the car on the exit. Cold tires coming out of the pits, but we're going to probably lose 2 to 3 seconds per lap to the top guys in front, so we're going to lose it to the McLarens and all them. We get a first, that might be the first track limits warning of the night. So yeah, it's definitely, I feel like a lot coming out of that entry, out of the exit. Obviously with the curb in, well, there goes another one. So there's 3 seconds to the name. I thought we already had one, but I do tend to struggle a lot on the exit, which we had in the qualifying laps coming out of turn number 4. But we got a couple cars coming into the pits. I believe Brad has came in, Doohan has came in, Bortoletto has come in, Hulk I don't think has came in, but a lot of guys that came in. And what we're just going to try to see if we can catch up to Jack. Now they're on the medium compound tires, so they're going to have much more of a pace advantage, but we're going to have the tire warm-up, so they're going to be on cold tires, but we're going to see what we can do really. And lap 13, we actually are catching the Jack Doohan. Jack Doohan's actually on hards. I thought he was on mediums. That might be Ocon that's on the medium tires. So let's see if Jack can stay with Ocon. Now I don't think Jack has changed his wing, because he most likely would have been out of the DRS, and most likely probably would have been ahead of Jack if he changed his wing. So we're just going to follow him through, but we have caught up into the train with Jack, and that might be Ollie Behrman behind us in the Haas. So yeah, Jack's pace is not really great right now, and to be fair, he's got a broken wing. He's also on the hard tires, and Bortoletto and Ocon are up there fighting for the minor placing so far. So just following Jack through, and here comes Ollie now with a I mean, not horrendous, but we have not really great pace. Ollie's got some fascinating pace right now, and he is most likely going to get us on the straight here. I don't see why not he's going to get us, but we'll see what happens. We're actually trying to manage the battery as well, but we're going to let him go completely if we can, but if we get another opportunity we can. You can see he just brakes very early, and that's just the way that the AI are. I don't know why they brake super early. I'm hoping that they do get a slight update in the next patch, which I don't know when that is coming. I don't know if they already did arrive. By the time I'm recording this is actually July 6th, so this is actually right after the British Grand Prix in real life as I'm recording this. But yeah, lap 16 now. Oh, we jumped ahead of Valley, and he didn't really get us on the one straight, but he's going to get us now, and he should have an easy pass through here. But again, he just brakes very early, so I'm kind of wanting him to get past now, and there goes Ollie into P20. So yeah, he moved up a couple positions, but yeah, now we're coming into some more of some fascinating cars. We got Liam Loss behind us. Kimi Antonelli comes out of the pits, so he's on the 2-stop, and he's on hards. And so far, we've been on hards for a long time, and they're risk of explosion. They are definitely not too pretty right now, are the tires. But Max comes in for a pit stop. He's going to go on to the hard compound tire. So Red Bull have made the decision to pit Max, and also here comes George Russell as well. And yeah, look at the tires, 52% on the rear, and that obviously the left side of the car is just getting absolutely torched compared to the right side. It's actually a lot more fine, and I think we're taking a lot more load on the left side of the car, obviously, but might have to start using no curbs in a couple laps here. But here comes Brad Pitt. We're going to play the team game. We're going to let Brad go, and Brad's in the best position to maybe score points if he just stays calm, cool, collected. So we'll let Brad go. We'll try to defend from Fernando Alonso if we can. And Alonso's obviously going to put him under threat, and obviously the pace advantage that Brad's going to have. To be fair, the car does, I do tend to see that the cars, specifically our car, It really struggles in the second half of the race when everybody's got the pace, but maybe it's just me or the AI. So obviously I know I'm going to be very slow. I'm on tires that are like 15 lap olds so far, so it's I'll be very surprised if they are making it. But the tire wear is really not that bad, considering that we ran on lap 4. But here comes Sainz, and we almost hit the back of Alonso again. And not ideal to hit Fernando because I do not want to change another wing. But yeah, now we got to watch the engine, and I think the tires are still cold on the right front as well, I think, and I just saw that. I'm not sure that or it was the brake. But yeah, Lawson goes on the inside. He had a great slipstream there, and he almost lost the car on the exit. So he's putting us under threat down to P18 now. Here comes Gasly, here comes Stroll as well. But we got the DRS on Liam Lawson, and well, we have a run, so we're gonna make a move on Alonso. We're gonna have some fun. Not Alonso, Lawson. Sorry, we're gonna have some fun with the AI. We go down the inside of Liam Lawson. He's gonna have the inside up into turn number 2 and up into turn 3 as we go. And so far, keeping the gap and jump ahead of Liam Lawson. So let's have some fun with the AI. Try to help out Brad Pitt if we can. He's actually lost position up to Fernando Alonso as I'm saying that. So obviously, a couple cars have yet to come in as well. So we like to jump ahead of these guys and also just try to help Brad if we can. Here comes Stroll. Here comes Lawson. Here comes Gasly. 3 in a row down the main straight. Do those 3 go? And we got some well, I thought it was a red Ferrari there, but we're close to some quite fascinating action. But yeah, lap 22 so far, and this race has been just abysmal. It has really just been really a painful experience. I mean, floor damage, tires that are old, and everything as well. It's not a great race for us so far, and really just struggled a lot with, honestly, I've been struggling a lot with this car. And the car is very difficult to drive. Specifically, I don't know what it is, but the car is a little bit, it really just struggles. It just has a lot of oversteer and a lot of understeer as well, which I don't mind a car having understeer because, again, I mean, it's obviously, I prefer oversteer over understeer, but sometimes the oversteer can get a bit obnoxious. But that is actually Gabriel Bortoletto that is out of this race. Kick Sauber is out, and scored a podium in real life today with Nico getting his first podium, and the heart has been shattered in Bahrain as Bortoletto is out, and Nico is basically dead last on the track right now. But 74% with 4 laps to go. Are these tires going to make it? We are basically lifting to try to survive. I mean, we are just taking, I mean, we're not even pushing like that. I think we're going halfway through some of the corners. We do not want to put any more wear on these tires if we can. Obviously we will, but we do not want any more. And it's not going to be ideal to follow in the dirty air of Isaac Hadjar as well. So I'm expecting a couple more lifts through the next couple of corners, but lap 26 so far, Max is putting up a good fight. Lando is trying to catch him if he can, but there goes Jack Doohan. He has not changed his wing. Props to Jack. He did not change his wing whatsoever in today's race, but Behrman and Nico are going to be catching 79% with 2 laps to go. Are these tires going to make it? These tires honestly might die like in the span of next lap, and they're all going up by 2% per lap. And here's lap 27. You can see 81%, and you can see we lost 3 seconds to Ollie Behrman. And to be fair, he is on these soft tires, but that is actually Lance Stroll that has gone for a spin, and Stroll has binned it, coming out of the exit of, yeah, I don't know what just happened. I think he just straight up floored it, which is the way of the AI spinning. But yeah, he makes a mistake, and he's going for a little spin, which is kind of weird to see a driver kind of lose it there. But I mean, they do lose it a little bit there through preseason testing, so it's not really that bad. But last lap now, here comes Nico. He's got the run. We got 3 seconds. There is no point in fighting this. We're going to let him go and see if he breaks very early, and yes, he does again. So, the big question is, can we hold off to Stroll, which I doubt we will really hold off for the 3 seconds, because I really have to lift and coast here. I cannot make it. I cannot afford a puncture right now, but here's your winner. Max Verstappen wins the Bahrain Grand Prix ahead of Lando Norris, and coming on with P3, George Russell. So Russell gets a 3rd, and I believe behind him is an Oscar P4 and a couple of the other cars. So I'm not sure who's finishing in 4th, but it is someone for sure. But guess what? The tires made it. 90% on the rear. Holy hell, these tires did a good job making it to the end, but what a absolute stinker of a performance today. Back to the drawing board we go, because that was not ideal whatsoever.
end, there was no Verstappen. Max Verstappen, he takes victory.
And 3 wins in a row now, of course, Crofty. Thrown the gauntlet down. The drivers are out there now. They realise that they are the target. They're the ones to beat. They've got the energy, they've got the momentum on their side.
It's time to bring out the bubbly and spray it around. It's our podium celebrations. But there can only be one on the top step. Your number one, Max Verstappen.
He does it again. Max wins the Bahrain Grand Prix ahead of Lando Norris and George Russell, so congrats to Max, well deserved. He's having really good success so far in the game. Fortunately, the success in real life has been pretty abysmal. As a Max fan, it has been a painful season, to say the least, because yeah, it's not been a great season being a Max fan. It's been heartbreak. But yeah, he wins, and yeah. And for my side, there's nothing much more to say. There really isn't. Just had a horrendous performance all day today. Car felt not bad, but I think if we just didn't do anything stupid on lap 4, we probably maybe would have had a little bit more exciting race. But yeah, I just completely cocked up the brake zone completely, and I just went straight into the side of Fernando. So I honestly, maybe in 24, maybe I would have gotten away with trying to say it. Maybe I would have gotten away with something a little bit, but I'm not gonna. I mean, again, I don't know. So yeah, but there's your standings. Max with a 22-point lead over Lando, so he's definitely putting some in. Yuki Tsunoda, P3, man. If only he was like that in real life, man. That would have been so cool. But yeah, we lose out to Liam Lawson on 4 points, and well, we are pretty tied with V-Carb right now on P6, and Aston with 4 points as well. So yeah, we're definitely in that fight for the front, but it is still super tight in this field, and specifically, hopefully the second half of the season we can get something rolling. I'm honestly hoping maybe after Miami we get something. I mean, hell, Jeddah is the next round. I tend to, now I'm really starting to think about it, starting to like Jeddah. I feel like Jeddah is a track I do pretty well at now, so I feel like it might be one of my worst tracks, but my worst track is probably most likely Qatar, I feel like. So I mean, I'm excited for Jeddah. It's a great track, but I mean, hell, maybe this car is going to do really well at Jeddah. Obviously we got a big upgrade package coming, so maybe we can close that gap to the front, but it's going to be exciting. Obviously another street circuit, so then we'll start getting into a couple other races as well. But that's all for me today's video, guys. Thank you everybody supporting this channel. Thank you everybody that's been supporting this series. I appreciate it. Love you all for all the support. And have a good rest of your day. Have a good rest of your weekend. And I will see you guys in the next one.